So, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining today's webcast about model-based product line engineering with Pure Variants and 3ds, in which we will explore the capabilities of the Pure Variants integration to Magic Draw, Cameo Systems Modeler, and Teamwork Cloud. My name is Robert Hellebrand. I'm your moderator for today, and I'm happy to introduce to you our speaker, Shivani Hegde from the Pure Systems webcast team. Some general remarks before we start. You can find all of our upcoming webcasts on our website, www.puresystems.com/webcast. All webcasts are recorded and uploaded to the Pure Systems YouTube channel after they have been presented live. So if you have questions during the event, you can post them at any time under questions in our Livestorm system. And at the end of the webcast, we will have a short Q&A session where we will answer your questions. I will now hand over to Shivani.
Thank you, Robert. So now let's get started with today's topic. So here now I will walk you through the complete model-based product line engineering workflow. This basically consists of accessing the feature model and feature model based configuration of a new variant, mapping of UML model elements with features and attributes with Pure Variants plugins for Cameo Systems Modeler, Magic Draw, previewing of the variant specific architecture, and generation of a variant specific architecture. So let's begin with the feature model for our product line, that is external car light system. So here, the role responsible for maintaining the feature model are basically the product line engineers, which is done in the Pure Variant side. So now here we have our existing feature model, which has different types of features. So in general, a feature can be anything. It basically highlights the high level differences between our variants, like maybe a functionality that you would like to have in your variant, or maybe a market for which this particular variant is developed for. So now, you see some of the mandatory features which are present in all of our variants. That is the beam configuration, which consists of low beam and high beam. And under low beam and high beam, we see a set of alternative features, meaning that these alternative features are very exclusive to each other. So you can say that if now some cars might have xenon, whereas the others might have halogen. So now if you go to the next feature type, so that is the optional features. So the optional features here are represented by a question mark. And the optional features basically means that they can be included in your variant or can be excluded in your variant. So now if you can see the dynamic high beam adjustments, the fog lights, daytime running light, driver assistance, these are all optional features. And now if we have the optional features selected, then only we need to take care of his children in order to make further decisions. So now moving on to the next type of feature, as you can see under the driver assistance, you see a set of OR features, a group of OR features. So when you have, when a parent feature is selected for this kind of feature, that means at least one of the feature has to be selected. So this way, these are the different types of features that you can have in a feature model. You can also have an additional features, maybe for like a feature called as region, which basically or maybe you want to have another feature model for holding the markets for which you want to develop your product variants. So now here, if you see, now when you select a particular feature, now in our case, when we select hazard warning, on the right hand side, you see the relations view, which basically shows the relations for the currently selected feature, as in, like, what this particular feature is related to, or the references, the parent feature, or any other requirements that it has in its relation. So this way you have a complete view of this particular feature. And as I mentioned earlier, you can also have an additional feature. So in our case, the additional feature that we would like to have is, as I said, it's regions. So because the regions are basically where we sell our products to, because depending on the region, also you might want to add restrictions to your particular variant. So this way, we basically have these feature models. And also another thing is you can have, as I showed, we can have multiple feature models, and you can have a connection between these feature models by adding a relation between them. So this way, all of these feature models are basically used to control the variability in our architecture on Cameo side and in other engineering assets. So now let's move on to the next part where we are basically configuring a new variant. So once you have your feature model ready, you can configure a new variant. And here the variant configurator who wants a complete product is responsible for creating a or configuring a variant based on the feature model. So now we can create a new variant model. So that is, in our case, we are creating Baselight Sweden. So by going to the configuration space, so this configuration space basically consists all the variant models that are there in your product line, and we want to add a new variant model. So you can right click on the configuration space, and via the context menu, you can select the variant model. And in the wizard that appears, you can enter the name for your variant that you would like to mention. So here we want to say Baselight Sweden, and then we can click on the select the necessary steps and then click on finish. So now you see we have a configuration view of the newly created variant. And also, if you notice, this feature model looks very similar to the feature model that you saw earlier, that is the functional feature models. But at the same time here, we also see the features of the regions feature model. So this way, we've actually created a variant which is called Baselight Sweden. So now here, as you notice, there are these error markers, which is basically pure variance telling us that there are some inconsistency, and also it provides solutions for you in order to resolve these inconsistency and reach a valid variant model. And also now here the auto resolvers will select the additional features that are required, and according to the dependencies we modeled between our features in a feature model. So this is how the auto resolver works. So once you have that, so now as you can see, this is what we do. And based on this feature model, now we can generate a variant specific architecture out of a 150% architecture. So now let's move on to the Cameo Assistant Modeler side. So here now basically to generate a variant specific architecture out of this 150% architecture, and to actually make this work, we need to initially connect the superset architecture to the features in the feature model. And for this, there are different ways of adding variation points. So now we will look one by one on how to add each of these variation points. So here, yeah. So as I said, there are different types of variation points in Cameo Systems Modeler. Now let's first add an existence variation point. It means that if a particular feature is selected or not selected, then the element to which this variation point is associated will be kept or deleted from the model. So now let's say now we want to add or we want to control the existence of the class hazard warning in this class diagram. So here we can do this by right clicking on hazard warning, and via the context menu, we can select existence variation point that we want to add. So here a dialog box appears where you can specify the PVSEL rule that you want to mention. And also here another interesting part is that it has this autocomplete functionality. So as you can see, this autocomplete functionality offered by Pure Variants makes your task much more easier while specifying the rule. So now you see we have added the existence, we have added the variation point to the existence property. So now here this basically connects the class to a feature in the feature model. So only if the feature is selected, then this class is part of the variant, otherwise it is left off. So this is how we add existence. We had the existence property. Now let's move on to the next one. That is adding variation points to the primitive property. So primitive property are in the Cameo side. They are basically variation points where you can add strings or Boolean values, float, integers, and so on. So these are the different types of values that you can set. And now let's see how to add a variation point to the primitive property. Well, here we will add a primitive variation property to the power attribute of the class halogen high beam bulb. We can do this as well via the context menu here, and then we select primitive property. A dialog box appears where we specify the rule, and we can make, as I said, by using the autocomplete functionality. And on doing so, so here we are setting it for the power attribute. On clicking OK, here we can specify, or you can change the property name from multiplicity to a default value. So this is how we do it. And then this way, the value of this variable will be set to the value of the attribute power, which was set or calculated during the variant configuration. So this is how we set the variation point to the primitive property. Now let's move on to the next one, that is the element property. So here we will add an element property, we will add a variation point to the element property in order to set the class for one of our objects, depending on whether we've selected xenon or halogen high beam in our variant model. So here, as I said, now here we can also do this via the context menu. So we select Pure Variants and then specify the variation point that you want to add to, that is here. And then here by default, it is set to type. And then we will change it to classifier in order to control the class that will be used for this particular object. So here, if I just go back, yeah, and then when we navigate to the element value specification. Here under the expression, we define that if now here we say that if we select high beam halogen, then the classifier of this element must change to halogen high beam bulb. So yeah, and we create another expression in a similar manner. So here we say that if high beam xenon has been selected, then the elements classifier must change to xenon high beam bulb. So this way we specify this, and then we click on close. So now we see that we have added the element property here. So yeah, now let's move on to the next part. Yeah, so now so far we've added the different variation points. Now let's have a look at how exactly or what kind of results you can expect when you do the transformation. So for that, we will have a look at previewing the variant specific architecture. So here, yeah. So now we can, as I said, we've set all the variation points. That is the element for the element property, primitive property, and the existence property. And now we want to have a preview of it to know what kind of results we can expect. So this we can do by select a particular variant that we would like to have. As you can see, there are a list of variant models here. And now we select Baselight EMEA. And here on this, we click on this button that is Enable Transformation Preview. So on clicking this, we see that the element property and the primitive property are highlighted in yellow, and every element that will be removed from the architecture, and due to the sorry yeah so if I just go back here. So now here every element that will be removed from the architecture due to the existence variation point, when it is evaluated to false, is set to red. So this way you can see, you can have a preview, and this is another state diagram, or the preview of the state diagram. And also we've selected a different variant, so Baselight Sweden, and see what kind of results we can actually expect. So here on doing the model transformation, the values will actually get substituted. So now in the next part, we will see how exactly the transformation works. So now here, now that we've added all the variation points, we've seen the preview of what kind of results we can expect. Now let's do the transformation with the Teamwork Cloud for generating a variant specific model. So here, um, yeah. So now after we have created the variation points for a 150% architecture model that resides in the Teamwork Cloud, we are now ready to generate a variant specific architecture models out of it based on the feature selection. So we now, as I said, we want to generate a variant specific model into we want to do it in a separate branch, in a separate Teamwork Cloud branch. To do so, we create a new branch for the Carlight project and then trigger the transformation on that particular new branch that we created. So here, as you can see, we create a branch that is Baselight EMEA, and then we open this particular newly created branch. Also, while triggering the transformation on this new branch, this basically resolves all the variation points so that we end up with a variant specific architecture. So now here we have opened the newly created branch, and you can see Baselight EMEA here. And then now we will select a Baselight EMEA variant model. Sorry, before that, as you can see here, yeah. Now, after opening the branch, before we trigger the transformation, we need to obtain a log for the whole model. So you can do this by following these steps. And once we obtain the log, now we can select the Baselight EMEA variant model in Pure Variants view, and and then also enable the transformation preview, so to see what kind of results that we can expect. And once we've done that, now we can trigger the transformation. So we go to tools and then select model transformation. Here then we trigger the variant realization transformation, and as a transformation scope we select the whole model, and then we run the transformation. Yes. So here now, after running the transformation, you can see that all the variation points have been resolved during the transformation. And also this value 50 is injected as a default value for the power attribute of the class halogen high beam bulb. And also if you notice, the classes LED and standard high beam bulb have been removed due to the transformation. Now let's move on to the object diagram and see what has happened there. So here we notice that the classifiers of the objects that were formerly set to high beam bulb have now changed to halogen high beam bulb. So now this way, these are the changes that we saw once we triggered the transformation. So now when we trigger the variant realization transformation for a Teamwork Cloud project, we transform the model of the currently open branch according to the feature selection of the loaded variant model. So therefore, we suggest that to create a new branch of each for each variant and then run the transformation on those branches. So now, in case if you're working, if you work file based, we can also trigger the transformation from within Cameo System Modeler and then save the resulting variant specific architecture model into a different file. But instead of triggering the transformation from within the Cameo Systems modeler, you can also trigger it in headless mode via build script and define the branch or the folder where you would like your output, the output of the model to be stored to. So now this way we've seen all the parts. So now just a quick summary of what we've seen so far since we've reached the end of our model-based product line engineering workflow. So far what we've seen is we've seen how to configure a variant-based configure a variant based on feature models. We've created variation points in our 150% architecture models. We've previewed our variants, and finally, we've generated the variant specific architecture models that are stored on their own branches in Teamwork Cloud. So these are the things that we've seen, and with this, yeah, I would like to thank you all for your attention and then hand it over to Robert.
Yeah, thank you, Shivani. And before we come to the question part, just a quick reminder, if you want to watch the video again or see which other webcasts we had recorded in the past, have a look at our YouTube channel. Just search for Pure Minus Systems to find it there. Yeah, and let's come to the Q&A session. So I'm quickly checking for incoming questions. Up to now, only one question. So if you have any other, please let us know. So Shivani, one question. We saw how feature models were used to control variation points in the software architecture model. Does this also work for a system architecture?
Yes, actually, we support all types of models in Cameo System Modeler and Magic Draw. So you can add variation points to any element or property in a model as long as it has a unique identifier. And also you can even use the same feature models for your system and software architecture as well as your requirements, test cases, code and other assets in order to achieve consistencies, because as your variation points will be resolved anyways based on the feature selection. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I can see any other questions incoming. So with that, I'd say we have reached the end of our meeting. Thanks again from my side. Thank you everyone for attending. Thanks for the nice presentation. And
Thank you.
yeah, thanks everyone. Have a nice day and goodbye.